Good morning, folks. Wrapping up Week 9 of the Patriot Football League's 2050. This is our 31st season. The Carolina Devilfish go into Mesa. Both teams with poor defenses and good offenses end up with A charts in the full sim. And Carolina won 38-31 in a shootout. Anderson threw 3 interceptions for the Mesa Machine. After coming off winning the World Championship in our mid-season break, they went on and won the world title against Denver. In the WCF, their league champion, but Mesa gets humbled, again, coming back to the Patriot Football League after winning the world title. Maybe they were a little bit big-headed, but Carolina got an unbelievable game from their fullback. Willis scored a 55-yard touchdown run. Willis scored again in the fourth on a 6-yard run and again on a 27-yard run. So their fullback blows up against this porous Mesa defense, but it's Olsen, the second-year quarterback for Carolina, throws 4 touchdown passes. Andrews, the star quarterback in the league, throws 3 interceptions. And Carolina, thanks to those turnovers and brilliant play by Olsen, wins 38-31 in a shootout. I should have recorded this game so you guys could have seen it, but I was just enjoying it and played it. And then I realized I should record at least one this morning. So that's what we're going to do. Again, I'm using my game, Football Time Special Edition. This is the D66 full engine, and that's what we're going to do today. And we're going to see the final game of the week, Week 9, Game 3, is the Indianapolis Capitals, who are winning that division, technically by a half game, now over Carolina. Carolina's win draws them even to Indy, but if Indy wins this, they'll have a half-game lead on Carolina for the division. And the Dayton Triangles, again, brilliant defense, and they have just not been able to score enough points. We have the Indianapolis Capitals, coached by Benny Leonard. They run a 34 defense balanced offense. They have a young quarterback in McAllister. They picked up Dupree during the collapse of 10 of the teams last year. They grabbed him off the scrap heap, and he is a good back. Wells, Johnson, and Howard return as the top receivers. Polk returns as the top place kicker. They did add Stone and Doyle and a rookie Carlson to the defense. This team in the plays a -3 defense, 0 offense in PAF. However, they're a DA GM4 in football time or football time scrimmage. The Dayton Triangles are also a -3 defense, 0 offense. They are a DA as well with a GM grade of 5. They're coached by the one and only Phil Barnhart. He is a champion, and he has been Coach of the Year twice. They run a 43 defense, run heavy. Wallace, the veteran quarterback. Robinson, the veteran running back. They have Hollis, the top receiver. Andrews and Davis round those out. They have a brand new place kicker, came on the scene last year in Smith. He's fantastic. Gibson was one of the best defensive players in the league. They've added Walter and Bjork. Bjork is now their current top defensive lineman. They added Louderbeck and Dawes. They already had one of the top defensive rookie of the year, middle linebacker Jacobs. And they have Doyle Martins. Bravo came over from Dallas. He was last year's MVP of the season. Bravo had a brilliant year as a defensive back and actually won the league MVP. And they have Miles. So Dayton is a -3. The Caps are a -3. But what does that mean in football time? When you look at the grades, they're both Fs. So this should be an ugly, low-scoring game. Just the opposite of the game I just played, Carolina with an A and Mesa with an A, and it was 38-31. This one should be low scoring. And folks, hold on to your britches because it's going to be one of those games. And the kick return for Dayton, starting it off as the home team, out to the 19. Here we go. Dayton snaps the ball. Wallace under center, 13. It's going to be a pass for 8. Oh, no, wrong chart. 13, pass for 6 yards, out to the 25. Second down and 4 for Wallace. Opens up with a quick pass. 32. It's going to be an incomplete pass. Third down. Just like that. Wallace is 1 for 1. 26. Going to be a handoff. What will it be, though? 7 and a first. They're going to come up to the 32-yard line. First down. Handoff to Robinson, the wily veteran back. Dayton gets the first down of the day. 52 is going to be a pass for 5. Out to Norman, the fullback, up to the 37, second down. 41, Dayton's going to pass again, third down. Incomplete, ball falls harmless, trying to find his tight end. And 34, this ought to be a run for nothing. Pow, as Robinson tries to get free on a draw, and he gets struck down. They're going to have to punt. Their punt is 30. net, 10, 20, 30, and this team can attempt to return it for a touchdown with Holmberg, who has got 3 in his career, but we're not going to risk the fumble. We're going to take the ball right there. Okay, so again, this is going to be just the opposite of the game I just finished. All right, Indianapolis with McAllister and Dupree go to work. 15 is going to be a handoff for 1. Bang, hands off to Dupree, gets 1 yard. 44 is going to be a handoff for nothing. 3rd down. These two F teams are not going to move the ball easily on these defenses. Dupree, back-to-back carries, nothing going. 3rd down, and hammered again for nowhere on a draw. Trying, I guess, just to set up the punt. I don't know. 10, 20, 30, and there's a chance for McDowell and Bravo. Bravo last year had 2 returns for touchdowns, or 3. One of the reasons he won Defensive Back of the Year is he had a bunch of box score points, but he also had 3 returns for touchdowns. I think we go ahead and let Dayton do it since they're an F-rated team. Oh, they fumbled the ball away right there. Sorry, folks. We continue that drive, and when that happens, we just mark it. We continue the same possession for Indy. So it would have been a punt return, fumble loss by Bravo, but technically we're going to continue the same possession. So it's like a bomb as he fumbles it away. I thought I would go for it. Bravo has a rough day here. Indiana with the ball with this drive. Holy cow, I just screwed Dayton. Snaps the ball. 12, though, is going to be an incomplete pass. Down. Oh, my gosh. Hold on. I dropped the die. Woo! Completely different simulation than the last 2 teams on the A chart were just fun as heck. This is going to be like pulling teeth. Turnover, as I said. Going to be like turning teeth. How do they turn it over? Picked off. Indiana gets the punt return fumble to turn around and have McAllister intercepted by 2. That's going to be a DB, and the DB is going to be Doyle. So Doyle gets the pick. On the F charts, he returns it back 7. So it's going to be out to the 43. Dayton dodges a giant bullet as Indianapolis scooped up a fumbled punt, a muffed punt. Holy cow, but they're going to pick off McAllister. Dayton fans on their feet as Dayton's #1 defense gets the job done. Now they go to work. Can they move the ball? They're going to run for 3. 1, 2, 3. Robinson, after a fumble, after having to punt, gets 3 yards. 55 is going to be another run for 5. Nice. Out to the 49. 3rd and 2. Can Dayton convert? 34, I don't think so. Run for nothing. 4th down, they will punt. And Bravo will not return this one. Actually, it's not Bravo. It's Holmberg. 1, 2, 3, because they're at the 19. They don't want to muff the punt here. So, again, this is going to be a low-scoring game. Indy goes to work. 55 is going to be a run for 5. Indy punches it out to the 24, 2nd and 5. Dupree, the brand-new back. He's not brand new to the league, but he's brand new to the Indianapolis Caps. 13 is going to be pass for 10 yards. 1st down. Good job, McAllister. Finds a man open in Wells in the middle of the field. It's going to be a run for 1 yard. 2nd down. Dupree getting the load here early for the Capitals. 2nd and 9. Capitals need to win to stay a game ahead of the Carolina Devilfish. 35 is going to be a handoff for 3. 1, 2, 3. Dupree getting the heavy load here. 3rd down and long. 45 is going to be another run of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to come up short. 4th and 2. They'll punt. Bravo will not return this one. 10, 20, 30. They're going to get the ball at the 28. And that's going to end the first quarter 0-0. Just the opposite of the last game. Again, the first game, or the last game I played, it was 14-7 in the first quarter with some explosive offense. All right, Dayton goes to work on their own 28. Can somebody score? 42, incomplete. 2nd down. He drops back, looks for his man Hollis deep. Nobody home. 16 is going to be a run for 5. Up to the 33. 3rd down and 5. Can Dayton convert? Keep the drive going. Nope. They're going to turn it over here, folks. Not good. And it is a fumble lost by running back 1. Robinson hammered, fumbles the ball away. Robinson, fumble lost, recovered by DL. DL5 is going to be Bevins, recovers the fumble. Fumble recovery. And folks, the crowd here stunned as Indy gets yet another, and they're going to return this back 7. That's going to put them at the 26 on a fumble return. The Capitals, with their second turnover, and Indy's defense has managed to keep them off the board. Let's see what happens now. Indy on a 64 is going to be a run for 1. Bam, Dupree gets the carry. 32 is going to be incomplete. 3rd down and 9. The Dayton Triangle's getting the job done. 33, pass for 10 and a first to the 15. And that is the man, Howard, the flanker. Indy trying to get in the end zone. 45 is going to be a run for 4, down to the 11, 2nd and 6. Denny Leonard watching on, stomping down the sidelines. 56 is a run for 9. It's going to be down to the 2, 1st and goal. As the Capitals, Dupree gets down to the 2. 46 is going to be a touchdown run for Dupree. So Dupree with a 2-yard run. Extra point on the F charts is it's D charts, I believe. So we do not kick. The PAT's automatic. And wow, out to the 19. Dayton's 2 turnovers finally bust them, as that fumble cost them a touchdown, and it's not going to be easy to get back those points. Dayton goes to work. It's going to be a handoff for 7. Beautiful. Out to the 26. 2nd and 3. That was Robinson redeeming himself. 23 is going to be a pass for 8. And a first down to the 34 as Wallace finds tight end Andrews. It's going to be 43 is a pass for 14. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 against this great defense. Pass to Hollis on the sidelines. First down, Dayton threatening. 43, Dayton with another 14. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Up to the 38 as Wallace at home is finding room against this stingy defense. 45 is a run for 4. They'll take that. Down to the 34, 2nd and 6. That was Robinson picking up a 4-yard run. 34 is a run for nothing. 3rd down. This time Robinson hammered to the backfield. 3rd down. 31 is sacked. Loss of 6. Up to the 40. Who gets the sack? That's going to be DL3. That's Bevins. Oh, man. So we're going to have a sack. Bevins with his 2nd point today on the box score points. We are in field goal range. Nope, we have to be at the 30. They're going to have to punt. That'll pin them at the 10. So they'll punt, pin them at the 10. And unfortunately, Dayton has a nice drive there, but that sack quashed all hope. As the Capitals with the final drive in the first half up 7-0 on the road in Dayton, and they're trying to keep Dayton down, and they're trying to go to 4-2-2 on the season and keep Carolina in the rearview mirror. 24, it's going to be a run for a loss of 1. 2nd and 11, not good. 52, it's going to be a pass for 5. They get up to the 14, 3rd and 6. 24, run for a loss of 1. Folks, 4th down, they're going to have to punt. And that punt, 10, 20, 30, does allow Bravo. We're going to let Bravo return it. This could tie the game if Bravo can take it back to the house. He does not, and he does not fumble. But, folks, Indy goes into the tunnel up 7-0 in a defensive battle. Robinson fumbled the ball. Bevins recovered. Dupree on a short field. They march down. He punches it in. That's the difference in this ball game. Bevins then recorded a sack to kill a Dayton positive drive. And then Bravo attempts to return a punt for a touchdown. Nothing going. Indiana comes out of the tunnel at the half with the ball up by 7. If they can add another 7, this game may be over. Indy goes to work starting the 3rd quarter. It's going to be a run for 4 yards up to the 23, 2nd and 6. Touchdown. Indy's going to score a long play here, folks, and it is a breakaway sweep for 4. Their 2nd man, their fullback, Soames, with a 87-yard, 80, let's say it'd be 77-yard run for Soames PAT, and Indianapolis is up now 14. The crowd here is stunned Dayton needs one of those themselves. It is 14-0. Their fullback Soames tears off a 77-yard run. Dayton goes to work. It's going to be a pass into the flat for 1, 2nd and 9. Dayton in deep trouble, folks. 43 is going to be a pass for 14 in the first. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, up to the 35. Wallace has found that seam route multiple times to Andrews and Davis. 33 is going to be a pass for 10. That one to Andrews, the tight end, first down. Dayton has drived a couple of times today. They just failed to convert when they needed it most. 43 is going to be a pass for 14. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. As Davis, the flanker, catches that for a first down. 55 is a run for 5. That's going to put him at the 36. 2nd down and 5. That was Robinson. Touchdown. Dayton's going to answer on a run. It's going to be a cross-buck run for their top back. Robinson breaks off a big run. 36 yards later, that was a run up the gut on a line buck. Tears through, and folks, that gets him on the board. It is now 14-7 Robinson, and the fans here roar as they have hope now if they can just get a takeaway from Indy. Indy, 45, starting the midway through the third. 45 is a run for 4. 2nd down and 6. Indy, 61, a pass into the flat, 1, 2, 3 to the fullback, Soames, who just scored on a 77-yard run. 54, it's going to be a run for nowhere. 4th down, they're going to force the punt they needed. 10, 20, 30, and we're going to attempt to return it for a touchdown. Bravo might get him back in the game. No, he fumbles it right there. They return it. Oh, you can't return a muffed fumble. Oh, my God. So that technically, again, punt. Punt return, Bravo. Fumble lost. Folks, Indy with the ball again. Remember, that resets the possession like a bomb. Twice Bravo's tried to return punts and fumbled, and I just killed Dayton's chances. 24. It's going to be a run for a loss of 1. Dayton stands strong despite my choosing to gamble. 64 is a run for 1. They get it back. 3rd down. Can Dayton stop them after that turnover? Incomplete. 4th down. They will punt, pinning them at the 14. And we will not have Bravo return this one. And indeed, they punt a second time. This is it. Final drive of the third. Dayton down 14-7. Let's see if Dayton can tie them up. It's going to be a pass. Incomplete. No luck there for Wallace. Looking for his tight end. 23 is going to be a pass for 8. Very nice. 3rd and 2. They can get this running or passing. 64, they're going to hand it off, but nope, they get only 1. 4th down, they're going to have to punt to wrap up the third. 10, 20, 30. Oh my God, they got the ball at almost midfield. Dayton, Soames rushes for 77. Robinson has a 36-yard breakaway. And folks, it's 14-7, start of the 4th quarter. Indy with the ball, they are leading. If one more touchdown, this game's on ice. 64 is going to be a run for 1 yard. They hand it off to their new back, Dupree, gets 1. 33 is going to be a pass for 10 and a first. He finds his tight end on a quick turn in, Johnson. And Indy looking good. 25 is going to be a run for 2. 2nd down and 8. That was Dupree. 31 drops back. Down he goes, sacked. He loses 6. Who gets that sack? It's going to be a DB comes in too. It's going to be Martins. So we're going to have a sack by Martins coming off a corner blitz. Holy cow, 3rd and long. Indianapolis 55 is going to hand it off on a draw play. They get 5 of it back. 4th down, they'll punt. 10, 20, 30. Puts him at the 11. Bravo will not try to return another punt. That's twice he's muffed today. Dayton has 2 drives left in the 4th. They're down by 7. They've got to turn one of these drives into a tire. It's going to be 35. It's going to be a run for 3. 1, 2, 3. Robinson on a token carry. 2nd and 7. 51 is going to be a pass into the flat to Robinson for 1. Hammered immediately by Tyson. And 16 is going to be a run for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4th and 1. They really don't have a choice, but they got to punt. 10, 20, 30, and they're going to pin their opponent at the midfield line. They have to hold, they have to get the ball back, and they have to hope they can score a touchdown. Indianapolis can put this game on ice with any kind of score. 64, it's going to be a run for 1 yard. Again, they hand it to Dupree against a stingy defense. Not much going. 54, it's going to be a run for nothing. 3rd down. Again, Psalms, the fullback, can't get through on that one. 65 is a run for 7. Not enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the 41. And it is a time to punt. 10, 20, 30. They're pinned at the 12. Do we go for the punt? If I can return a punt for a touchdown, they'll tie the game. No. We've had 2 fumbles. We're not going to do it. They get that turnover. They have to drive. To win this, to tie this game, Dayton will have to go the distance. They're going to have to go 88 yards. Okay, let's see what Dayton can do. 41, it's going to be an incomplete pass. 2nd down, the crowd here nervous as Dayton is in a bad way against a great defense. It's going to be a turnover. That's it. Game on ice, folks, as the Capitals quash them on a fumble loss. The fumble is by the quarterback. Man, so it must have been a strip sack. Wallace, fumble lost, recovered by 5 DL. That DL for the Capitals is Bevins. Oh my God, Bevins has had a brilliant, he returns that back 7 to the 5, and that's where the gun sounds. Bevins records 3 defensive box score points as Bevins is now working hard to become the top defensive player in the league on a -3 defense. One of these teams with a minus defense should definitely have the league's leader. And that is huge. Bevins, that'll give Bevins, I think, 4 points on the season. 3, plus he had 1 in the first 7 weeks. All right, Indianapolis, let's see, in the 4th did not score. Dayton in the 4th did not score. And folks, Indy is going to hold on with a 14-7 victory. Indy will go to 4-2-2. Dayton falls to 2-6. Indy keeps that half-game lead over the Carolina Devilfish, and Dayton are in trouble as they're chasing now at the bottom of that division. They're chasing the 5-2-1 Mesa Machine, and not great. Thanks for watching, folks. This has been the Patriot Football League's 2050 season, Week 9, last game of Week 9, playing Football Time Special Edition, the full simulation. Thank you. Good day.